I know you're wondering why therapists do not accept insurance, or some therapists don't accept insurance. I accept insurance in my practice, and I probably always will because of the population that we work with. However, I have a great deal of empathy for providers who have opted out of accepting insurance. And here's why. Accepting insurance means that you are tethered to the insurance company's policies. And so that means you will accept what they pay you, which is often far less than what a therapist's real rate is. Secondly, we have to provide a diagnosis for everyone who comes in to see us. And that also requires that we diagnose clients to the highest level of severity, meaning that if we diagnose you with, like, say, an adjustment disorder, which anybody could go through at any point, we can only use that diagnosis for 6 months, and then we have to further assess you and perhaps diagnose you with anxiety or depression. The other thing that happens is, which I find it personally stressful and difficult, is that insurance companies can come to a provider and do come to providers and say, I want to see all of the notes for this client that you've seen for the past year. And so by contract, we have to turn those notes over to the insurance company. It potentially violates your privacy, but it also may mean that if the notes don't contain the type of documentation that insurance companies expect, then the provider is going to have to return money. Now, yes, notes should meet a standard of care. Some standardization is important. Some documentation is important. However, when the service has been provided and then the provider has to give back the money, that almost seems a little bit unfair, because it could be a couple of years worth of money that the provider has to return. So there are just some dilemmas that accepting insurance presents for providers. And frankly, some therapists have said, it's not worth it. I'm not going to accept insurance. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about how you can get care even if your provider doesn't accept insurance. All right, guys, hope this is helpful.